Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Please click on the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified when I upload new videos. Hey guys, in this session we are going to look at your security groups and your key pairs. So first we look at your security groups. Security group acts as a firewall that controls or contains the traffic for one or more instances. So it acts as a firewall that you can use to control the traffic for one or more EC2 instances. When you launch an instance, you associate one or more security groups with the instances. So whenever you are launching your instances, you can associate one or multiple instances, but you will need to have a minimum of one security group for your EC2 instances. Security group allows you to add rules that allow the traffic to or from its associated instances. So security group allows you to add the rules that will decide what traffic should be allowed to your EC2 instances. It can be your SSH rule. So if you want to allow SSH traffic, you will add the SSH rule. If you want to allow HTTP traffic, you will add the HTTP rule. If you want to allow, let's say, MySQL traffic, you will add the MySQL rules, and so on. You can modify the rules of a security group at any time. The new rules are automatically applied to all the instances that are associated with the security group. So security groups, you can work with the security groups dynamically. So even after you attach a security group with an instance, you can modify it at any point of time, and they are updated on the fly. You don't have to stop the instances or anything. They will be reflected immediately. All the rules are evaluated from all the security group that are associated with the instances before giving the access to the instance. So when you're working with a security group, the rules that you add, so let's say you have SSH, HTTP, HTTPS, all these rules will be evaluated first, and then the access will be given to your instances. So let's look at an example for this. So open up your EC2 dashboard. So this is my EC2 dashboard, and here when you scroll down, you will find the security groups section. Click on security groups, and here you will find, if you have any existing security groups, you will find it here, and you can create your security group from here as well. So click on create security group, give a name to this. So let's say new Linux server SG, which is security group, and your description. And then for now we are going with the default VPC. VPC we will be covering it in the later sessions when we come to the VPC service. For now we will go with the default VPC. Then comes your inbound rules, that is, this is where you'll be adding the rules that needs to be allowed to your EC2 instances. So to add your rules, click on add rule, and here you can choose. Now you can go with the custom TCP, or you can select from the existing rules. So let's say I want to allow SSH. This is your port 22, and then comes your source. Now source is from which network you want to allow. Custom means you can enter anywhere, means it's by default 0.0.0, you cannot change it. My IP means the network I am connected to, that is the IP of my system. We will go with custom, and we'll say 0.0.0, and then we'll add one more rule. Let's say we will add HTTP, and HTTP is 80 port number, and again 0.0.0. We'll add one more rule, which is HTTPS, which is 443, and we will say 0.0.0. Now for your outbound rules, by default your security group allows all outbound traffic from your EC2 instances, and this is how it should be. We should not change this when coming to your outbound rules, unless you want to control the outbound traffic as well. Then click on create security group. Now once you're done creating this security group, you can start using this when launching your EC2 instances. So when you're launching the instances, you have the option of selecting between an existing security group or creating a new security group. So in this case, we have created a security group, and you can select that. So let's say we'll add a tag, and let's say this is my Linux server, and then my security group. So here click on existing, and here you should see the security group that we have created, and you should be able to see the rules that we have added, and then click on review and launch, and then finally launch the instance. So this is how you can create the security group when you're launching the instances, as well as you can create it in the security groups section over here, and you can select them from the existing security group option when you're launching the instances. And again, the rules, you can modify them at any point of time. So let's say here I have launched this instances. Now I want to modify some rules. So here when you scroll down in your description section, here you should see the security group that is attached with your instance. You can either click on this, which will open up that specific security group, and you can click on edit inbound rules, and you can start making changes to this. And any change that you make here will be reflected immediately. It will be applied immediately to the EC2 instance. That's about your security group. Next, we have your key pairs. Now, key pairs helps you to log into the EC2 instances. So it contains the login information for your EC2 instances. So Amazon EC2 uses public key cryptography to encrypt and decrypt the login information. So Amazon EC2 makes use of these key pairs to encrypt and decrypt the login information for your EC2 instances. The public key will be utilized to encrypt the piece of data such as your password, and then the recipient, that is the user who is trying to connect to the the instance, will use the private key to decrypt the data. So the public key and private key together, they are known as your key pairs. To log into your instances, you must create a key pair, specify the name of the key pair when you launch the instance, and provide the private key when you connect to the instances. So whenever you want to launch an instance, or when you want to log into the instances, you need to have a key pair. So when you're launching the instances, you can either create a key pair and then you can specify the name of the key pair when you're launching the instances, and when you want to connect to that instance, you will have to provide the private key. Now, if you're working with a Linux instance, the public key content can be found within this location. So once you're done launching your instances, the public key will be stored in this location within the server. This is done at boot time and enables you to securely access your instances using the private key instead of a password. So here we have launched an EC2 instance. So let's connect to that, and let's see if we are able to see our public key. So let me quickly connect to this. So I'll open up my terminal. Sorry. And let me just maximize this, and we will run the SSH command. Here tilde indicates your root directory, and here you should see this .ssh. When you go to this .ssh, you should see this authorized keys, and when you read this authorized keys, this will show you the public key. So this is the public key information of my EC2 instance. So this is the public key, and the key we provided here when connecting to the instance. Sorry, let me exit from this instance. Here this becomes my private key. So this public key will be stored within the server, and the private key needs to be provided by the recipient who is trying to connect to the server. Amazon EC2 does not keep a copy of your private key. Therefore, if you lose a private key, there is no way to recover it. So Amazon does not maintain the copy of your private key. So it's very important that you store your key pairs in a safe and secured location, because if you lose the key pair, there is no way to recover the key pairs. So if you lose the private key for an instance store backed instance, you cannot access the data. You should terminate the instance and launch another instance using a new key pair. So if you are working with an instance store volume, and if you lose the key pair, there is no way to recover the data. The data is completely lost. You will need to launch a new instance with a new key pair. But if it is your private, if you are using an EBS volume, you can regain the access to your instance. So there are workarounds to work with your EBS volumes when you lose the private key. So to create your private keys, again you can do it when you're launching the instances. Also you have the option of creating it here. So when you go to key pairs, you can create the key pair here. So you can give a name, so let's say test key. Now if you are used to this AWS account, earlier we did not have this PPK application, and if you have gone through my previous recordings, we used the PuTTY application to convert this PEM file to PPK file. Now Amazon has the option of directly downloading the PPK file instead of doing the conversion manually. So if you are using PuTTY application, you can directly download this PPK file, and if you are using OpenSSH, you can use this PEM files. So you can when you click on this create key pair, this will download the PPK file for you. So when you're launching the instances, so here when we begin to launch the instances, so if you're launching a new instance, in your launch section, selecting your key pair, you can go with existing, and here you should see that key pair. Now what here we are telling is, we are telling my EC2 that add the public key inside the server, and I will use this private key to connect to my EC2 instance. That's about your security group and key pairs. That's all I have for this session. I will see you in the next video.